Oh, uh-oh. I don't know if we're live. Okay, we're not live yet. It says the Facebook Live reaction feed has encountered an error while loading live data from the Facebook API. The operation couldn't be completed. Please make sure your account is set up correctly and you are connected to the internet. Facebook may also be experiencing problems. Oh, it actually looks like we are live, though, despite that error. Despite that warning from Facebook that something is amiss, it looks like we are indeed live. Let's double check.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
cow,
we're
we
live.
are. So even when
I'll be
Facebook
darned.
gives back some sort of weird error, we're actually live anyway. All right, I guess I can take these stupid things off. I don't need to see the screen that well while I'm doing this. I look like a boob. All right, folks. All right, we're here live. I can see there's some people jumping in. Flash, welcome. I can see you've jumped in here. Mark, good to have you on here. Everybody else, feel free to say hi as we do the show. We like to get some feedback. And, of course, as we go through everything, feel free to leave your comments. Sometimes we even read them on the air if we're ambidextrous enough to check and record and think at the same time. Then we'll sometimes bring those things onto the live show. But today we're going to do a show, an interesting one, I think, the real power of videos. And we'll tell you exactly what that is as we get started. It may not be what you normally think, but it's something that I've been talking to a lot of clients about lately. So that's why I wanted to bring this up. All right, Steve, are you ready?
I am ready, Ray.
All right, then in that case, let's get ready in 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Let's try that again. 3, 2. Hee.
That was good.
That was good.
All right.
3, 2, 1. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to talk about the true and real power that video has for you and your business. Should be quite interesting. And today's episode is made possible once again, just like last week, by our friends over at Movo, who have some amazing microphones that can help you to get better video than you ever have before. We got a link down below here, and it's a weird one. It's kind of long, but you can head on over there and you can check out some of the great microphones that these guys have for you. It's at shrsl.com for kind of shortened for share a sale. So shrsl.com/203U5. I know, that's crazy. We'll have to get a better link than that. But for these new microphones, we kind of have that link right now until I get everything set up. So there you go.
It'll be
But
in
it's
the
worth
show
it
notes.
for the microphones. That's right. And it'll be in the show notes. So be sure to check that out. And, you can also go to pocketvideopro.com and see some of the other ones that they have available as well. But believe me, you need a microphone when you do videos and when you do radio and when you do voiceovers and when you do screen captures and everything in between. So Movo can help you out. So be sure to check them out at the link below. Go for it.
How'd you like that Yeti imitator?
I was waiting for you to say that. I love it. We'll talk about it after the music plays.
All right. Okay.
So here we go.
Okay.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
And it's the radio show about Video Marketing Madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. Go VMM is the landing page for the home page, the home office.
On the old interwebs.
Then that's where you can get social with us and check out all the podcatchers. Number one being Apple Podcast, I do believe.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Sorry, Google. Sorry, Stitcher. But, you're still important and we still love you regardless.
Now, we also know you as the Intergalactic Time Lord.
That is true.
That was one of the candidates in the British election yesterday. And I saw a picture of Boris Johnson with him and like Lord Buckethead and somebody else, and they all got up together.
Well, the funny thing is here we're saying, oh, Trump colluded with Russians. No, Biden colluded with Russians. And, in Britain, they've actually got somebody in charge named Boris. So, I guess we're not too bad. We'll see where it goes.
His wife's name is Natasha.
It could be. It could well be. And I heard that the biggest agenda for this year in Britain is to get moose and squirrel.
Moose and squirrel.
So that's the year's agenda for Parliament is get moose and squirrel. And here it's, get impeachments, I guess. But anyway, we don't want to talk about that nonsense. Here we try to break away from all that and have some fun while talking about things that will hopefully make you money with video, because we love video.
But first,
the mic. In fact, I have the mic. It's sitting on my workbench right over there. It's a new microphone called the UM700 from Movo, and it's a desktop mic, and I'm making little hand gestures for those of you who can see it, but of course, most of you are listening, so you don't see my cool little hand gestures for desktop microphone. But it's very similar to the Yeti. It looks like the Yeti. It has a stand like the Yeti. It plugs in like the Yeti. The only difference is it's black, which I guess the new Yeti is anyway, and it's a little bit thinner, so it's not, if you know the Yeti, it's a very big, fat microphone. This one is a little bit thinner and a little bit more, just a little bit skinnier. But it looks very similar, works very much the same, and it has the 4 pickup patterns, which would be the cardioid, the omnidirectional pickup pattern, the stereo pickup, and then it's also got the bidirectional, so you can actually record from 2 different sides and then have the rest cut out, which is great for doing interviews. If you got somebody sitting across from you at a desk and you're doing an interview, you can get both sides, and it works very, very well. I tested it out yesterday. I've got the video half put together with the full test in there, but really, really impressive. I mean, great sound. I found that the cardioid setting was definitely the nicest sounding out of that, I thought, which makes sense because you're sitting right in front of the microphone there. You're not picking up a lot of other stuff. The stereo was really cool. I did some stereo tests by snapping my fingers on either side, and it was very neat. Very, very cool microphone, and it didn't have my problem that I always had with my Yeti was when I would put it on my glass desk here, you'd pick up the vibrations from the computer and the hard drives would put a little bit of a underneath, which was pretty audible, and you could actually hear it buzz, and then I would lift it up in my hand, and it would go away.
Ground loop hum. It could have been a ground loop hum, too.
Yeah, that's probably, it's one of those, it was either that or I think it was the computers and the hard drives vibrating the glass desk is what it is.
Oh, okay.
I think, but it could be wrong. Because if I lift it off the desk, it goes away, put it back down, it comes back. And the Movo didn't really have that.
I remember it, though. So, it was pretty dang loud. I remember you.
It was,
years ago.
It could be pretty loud. And the Movo didn't really have that at all. I think, wearing headphones and boosting it up, you could kind of hear it pick some of that up. But I could also hear it with my ears, in the room, the hard drives and things too. So that's probably more likely what it's picking up. So very, very impressive. Sounded good, looks good. You can't really go wrong. It's under $100. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Check it out. And you can check it out by hitting that share sale link down there. It'll actually take you to that. And you can look it up, the UM700. We should have a page up for it shortly. I thought we had one already. In fact, I posted the page the other day and then realized, we never made it yet. So went to nothing. So I had to change that. But check it out, UM700. Very, very good microphone. It looks pretty, and it does a great job. It's got that little mute button there, too, which, by the way, even doing this show, I've got a mute, but it's not that easy to get to. At least with that, you can just hit it.
Doop.
And it does have, by the way, the traditional screw on the bottom, so you can actually stick it to an arm. So if you've got a big arm, you can put it on that. If I've got a boom. I used to put the Yeti on the boom, and you can do that with this as well. So very neat.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
very
nice.
neat stuff. So,
Alrighty.
But today, of course, we're not here to talk about microphones like last week.
No.
If you want to know more about microphones, head into the archives, go VMM. You can check out last week's show where we talked about the different kinds of microphones. Today, we're going to talk about what I'm calling the real power of video. Ooh. So what does that mean? Well, let's talk about
Ray,
video. Yes.
What does that mean?
Oh, well, let me tell you, Steve. I'll tell you exactly what that means. So we all know how video works when it comes to your business. If you got a local business, you're a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, or if you've got products that you sell online, you know that videos can be a big, big part of that for a couple of reasons. One, you can make videos that explain things that might ordinarily be difficult to explain. You can have videos that just show something off. It could be they show off a product. It could be they show off a service. It could be they show off, a 5-star reputation, review that you got. There's a lot of different. You can have testimonials, all those different types of things, and you have the ability to put those videos out there, put them on your website, put them on your YouTube, put them on your Facebook, other social media, and get people to see what you want them to see. And we all know that. That's the normal, everyday video power that you can send out a message, people can get it, and it will help you to hopefully get new business. But there are some what I call the real powers of video. And the reason that I say these are the real powers of video, because this is the type of thing that you could do even if your video was just a, no sound and a picture. So if you imagine that you had a 5-minute video, that all that 5-minute video was a picture on the screen and no sound, okay? So this is something that can help your business regardless of what's in the video. So if you got, whether it's a testimonial, whether it's an explanatory video, whether it's a cartoon, whether, hand-drawn video, this is the power underneath the video that can help you to grow your business. And I'm going to show you or tell you exactly what I mean by that. So imagine this. We all know, everybody who's ever done any kind of website work whatsoever knows that backlinks are an important thing, right? Steve, you know what backlinks are, right? Everybody.
Oh, yeah. And YouTube is great for building backlinks.
And that's what we're going to get into is some of that. I don't understand the whole backlink thing all that well. I mean, I get the idea, but as far as, traditional SEO, they say, oh, we're going to get you a bunch of backlinks, and they go out and they get backlinks, and I have no idea where they really get them from or how they get them, and I don't care. As long as you can get them and they work, that's fine with me. But I will tell you that there is some great opportunities with YouTube to do some of that kind of stuff underneath the hood. And we talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago in one of our discussions, and that's why I wanted to add this in as a full topic, because it can be a very beneficial thing for a lot of people with businesses. If you want to, if you're a local business, there's a couple things you want to do. You want to have a website that ranks well. You want to have your Google My Business that ranks well. And you want to be able to take up spots on page 1 so that your competition isn't there, or maybe you're knocking, maybe somebody said something bad about you and you want to knock it off page 1. Well, if you can get yourself into those maps, have your website on page 1, maybe have a video on page 1, maybe even have a product on page 1, well, now all of a sudden all that space is being taken up by your positive things, and that's what we really want to achieve with all of this. And so by making sure that we have videos, we have the opportunity to take up real estate on page 1. Now that's kind of a side benefit, but it's one that needs to be really talked about. If you can get your videos optimized properly and get some people interacting with it and just get it to be popular enough, it can get onto page 1 and take up one of those spots. And when it does, it's like having a billboard right in front of everybody with that nice picture there. Now, most of the time now you're going to have that carousel, which haven't decided if I like that or not. It makes the videos very prominent, but it also is going to incite some of that blindness, I think, where people are just going to scroll right by it. So that to me is a potential problem. What's that?
The 3-pack, you mean, of videos?
Yeah, when you get the videos that are in that 3-pack carousel, I think you get the tendency for people to just skip by it.
Although, one thing that I have found with the attorneys I'm working with is I crank out as many videos as I can. I'm not so much they index immediately, so I'm not concerned about that. But I do get some on page 1. But the other thing that I've found is, and this is anecdotal, but it helps their website and it helps their GMB. It just helps them to show up more. So, for instance, an attorney I have in Jackson, Mississippi, I always use him, but I put out a bunch of videos that say best DUI lawyer in Mississippi, and it's him. And I put out a bunch of those. Well, guess what? After a while, those not only showed up in the 3-pack, his GMB is on page 1 for best DUI lawyer in
Yep.
Mississippi and DUI lawyer in Mississippi. I attribute that to the authority the videos gave him. You know, YouTube looked, or Google looked at that and went, yeah, okay, he's the best DUI lawyer in Mississippi. There's just a lot of backup information.
Sure. And that's a part of this power underneath is the fact that you're doing that. You're building this reputation. You're building this, this cachet of content that backs up that this is a legitimate business. So you get some power there. But let me tell you where I think all of that's coming from, especially with the GMB, is in every one of those videos, I'm pretty sure you have his name, address, and phone number.
Citation.
And that is what is really likely making a huge difference there. And we've seen that, I have one of my dentists that I started with a couple weeks ago, and he was, as far as the maps go, I mean, he was in like 24th place or something crazy like that. And yesterday I was looking something up and I just happened to look, and now he's number 1 in the maps. The only thing that we've done is add videos that had his name, address, and phone number. We optimized his YouTube channel and we made a bunch of videos, and boom, all of a sudden he's at number 1. What's that?
How many did you do?
We've done for him. I did 10 videos right off the bat.
Yeah.
And then we've done 1 video per week for the last 8 weeks or so, 7 or 8 weeks.
Okay.
And so that seemed to be enough, and it kind of surprised me actually. But the reason that works is because you've got what are called citations. Now, if you don't know what a citation is, I know we kind of mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but a citation is it's similar to a backlink when it comes to how they work. So, for instance, a backlink is, you go out to a blog and you copy a message, and in that message is a link back to your website. So that's a backlink that you get to your website. And Google sees, oh, this guy's got, 5,000 backlinks. He must be more important, and you rank better.
Those are quality backlinks.
Quality backlinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the same side of that is when it comes to Google My Business, Google looks for what are called citations. And citations they're looking for the exact name, address, and phone number that you have in your Google My Business account out there in the world. So they go out and they look and they go, okay, here's his name, address, and phone number. Is this mentioned anywhere else? Oh, I see it on Facebook. Oh, I see it on yellowpages.com. I see it on DexKnows. I see it on Hot Frog, and I see it on Yelp. And so it says, okay, he's got a bunch of these citations. These citations come back, and now his GMB ranks because of those citations. So it's a very powerful way to do that.
You're telling Google that you are who you say you are.
Exactly.
And videos are a great way to do that.
Yeah, because the bottom line is when somebody searches for a dentist in Atlanta, they're looking for the best answer. That's a question. When somebody says dentist Atlanta because they're looking for a dentist, what they're really doing is they're asking a question. Who's the best dentist I can get in Atlanta is the implied question there. And so when you type dentist Atlanta, Google wants to provide you with the best answer to that query. So what's the best answer to that query? Well, that would be probably the one that's kind of close to you, has a lot of 5-star reviews, and that seems prominent out in the world, because if they have all those things, then they must be important. So what makes up that prominence is, they're on Yellow Pages, they're on this, they're on this, they're on this, they're on this. That means that they must be a legitimate business. They're not just some fly-by-night that just put their name on in a Google My Business account. You can find it everywhere. You can find it on all these different places. And the more that you can give to Google for that, the better they're going to want to promote you as the answer to that question. So what do? Well, we go into YouTube and we make sure we make a whole bunch of these. Steve, you got something to add to that?
Do you backlink the GMB directory site
Heck
itself?
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. So here's what we do with the YouTube videos. We go in there and, we've talked about optimization before. Now, obviously, the optimization and the title and the description are going to be very important for ranking purposes, and so that Google can find these videos and they can put them rank them on YouTube, rank them on Google, whatever. So you get in there, you put that title in there, you get into the description, you put that nice description in there, make sure you got a link back to the website. And by the way, one thing that we always do is when we link back to the website, if they are, johnspizzahouse.com, we don't always just put a link to johnspizzahouse.com. Okay, what we want to do is we want to put it to an internal link whenever possible. So, for instance, maybe the video is about calzones. If it's about calzones, then we're going to link to the calzone page on John's Pizza website. And that provides a deeper link into the site rather than everything going to the homepage. So whenever possible, that's what we do. So with dentists, we send the one about the video about tooth whitening goes to their tooth whitening page. The one about veneers goes to their veneers page. The one about cosmetic dentistry goes to their cosmetic dentistry page. And that just helps to build those internal links. And that can help all those pages to rise when people are searching. Now, as far as the citations, we make sure that the name of the business, exactly as Google says it is put in there, along with the address, the phone number, and then that way they've got all that information in there. So now, you think about this with these citations, if you put up 10 videos for a client, okay, and you've got 10 citations in there. On top of that, you've optimized their page and you've made sure that there's their name, address, and phone number in the About section. Now you've got an 11th. So you've already built 11 citations just by putting these 10 videos up there. On top of that, you take these videos, you put them into playlists. In the playlist, you put a description that has their name, address, and phone number. So if you create, let's say, 4 playlists, now you've got what are we up to here? 10, 11, 15 citations that you've built. Okay? So that sounds really good. Let's take it a step further. For each video that you put up there, you're going to do off-site optimization. You're going to take that video and you're going to send it out to Facebook. You're going to send it out to Yelp. You're going to, not Yelp, Twitter. You're going to send it out to, all the different Web 2.0 sites, all the different social media sites. And yeah, Plurk, definitely. And I know Twitter probably won't count in this because you have to it's a very short description that'll show up on there. But for all those other ones, you're going to make sure that when you share those videos out, that you're sharing it with their link back to their website and their name, address, and phone number for the citation. So now you've got your 10 videos. You blast all 10 of those out to 10 sites each, and now you got 100 more citations that you've just built. So you've got 115 citations now just from those 10 videos. Now, if you create a new video every single month for that client, every single month they're getting not only that one citation and that one backlink, but that's times 10. So now they're getting 11 more, 11 more, 11 more, 11 more. And it's consistent, and you're getting all of these things just constantly pointing out to their website, giving a citation for their Google My Business. And now, on top of that, in that description, we're also putting a direct link to the Google My Business page. So you're going to get a backlink to the Google My Business page times 10 times 10. So you're getting it all in there. Now, in addition to that, we'll put driving directions to the location, which we'll pull from Google, and we'll put direct links to 3 to 5 of their 5-star reviews. So now you're deep linking into the Google My Business, and all of those are going out times 10 videos, times 10 locations you share the videos to, and you're just building all of these links, all of these citations, and it's just helping everything to rise as it does that. So it's very, very powerful as far as that goes. And, on top of that, we're also taking on these videos and we're making sure that they're found in all sorts of different places other than just YouTube. So the power here is, one, you got the innate power of video where people can learn from them. People can watch them. People can share them. You've got the power of the video itself in that it's got a link to your website. But you've got all this underpinning that helps to boost your website, helps to boost your Google My Business, and it just builds a really strong foundation from all sorts of different places that can make sure that you get a lot of power. Now, a lot of this sounds like it would be a lot of work, and it can be. It can be a lot of work to set all this up and to do this. However, there is a tool that we can use that can kind of alleviate some of that pain and pressure of doing all this stuff, and that's IFTTT. If you attach your IFTTT to those YouTube videos and to that YouTube channel, then every time that you upload a video, it's going to do some of that work for you automatically and send it out to different places and, get you some extra love out of those videos. So it's something that you can use to really make life a little bit easier. But you need to be able to do all these things. Yes, Steve?
How do you like TubeRank Machine for building, for syndicating?
For Tube Rank Machine, yeah. I mean, Tube Rank Machine is, unless I'm getting the name wrong, that one doesn't really do syndication. I think maybe one of the. Does that one do
builds
syndication?
backlinks.
It builds
It builds
backlinks.
backlinks, but now it builds it to social sites. If you pick just the social
Right, yes.
sites,
So it's a little
I'm gonna
different
I'm
than-
going to call that syndication. Is it?
Yeah,
not?
I guess it kind of is. It's
Okay.
it's not the traditional type, but it's a very powerful program. By the way, if you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend you check that program out. I've
Not
used it.
expensive either.
Yeah, it's not expensive. I don't have a link handy for it, but we can always find one. But it's a very powerful tool in that it pulls your videos in and it shows you everything that you should have done or that you did do, and it will give you hints on what you can do, and then it will build backlinks. So just like you would build backlinks to your website, you're going to build backlinks to that YouTube video. Now, think about that. So now you're also building backlinks to that video, helping that video rank while that video is promoting all those other things, getting people's attention, and you're really starting to get a lot of traction with those videos and hopefully starting to get phone calls and sales out of that.
Well, and here's what I also like about it. Just to add to what you were saying, I'm in situations where I've got to crank out 20 videos, and I got to get them done as quickly as I can. Tube Rank Machine is a time saver. I mean, it's a lifesaver and a time saver because you just basically press a button and you've got 100 social media backlinks and syndicated out to 100 social media sites. It's powerful and it's easy to use, and it saves a ton of time, especially when you got to crank out the videos. Why are you cranking out the videos? For the same reason that everything Ray's been talking about, on this program. The only footnote I would add to that: make sure they're unique videos.
Yeah, and like I said, at the beginning I was talking about, if you had a video that was just a still image. Don't go doing that, by the way. That wasn't an endorsement of bad videos being put out there for that purpose. My whole point with that was if you take out the intrinsic value of a video that can educate people, there's power in the fact that it's a video and that you can do these things regardless of what the video is. I still say you got to have quality content for the other reasons, in that people are going to find and watch these videos. So if you want to have people find and watch these videos, you got to make sure that it's decent content. But all this other stuff is a bit more it's a bit more agnostic. It's going to work regardless of what the video is. And it's going to build that reputation. It's going to build that foundation. It's going to build those backlinks and those citations. And you don't have to, worry about the content from that standpoint. But from an actual viewer standpoint, you definitely still need to worry about the content. Make sure that the content's good and that, you're just putting out value at all times because, you want people to watch. Because, the backlinks and everything are great and they're very powerful. But if you're going to be putting these videos out there, when people watch them, you might as well have a reason for them to watch and a reason for them to click. So you got to, make sure that content is really good on top of that. So,
Yeah.
Good content, bad content, probably not going to affect the backlinks and the citations at all. But you definitely want to have the good content specifically for the fact that people are going to watch these. But it's it's a selling point which I've used quite a bit because it can be very, very powerful. And if you think about this, when I'm out trying to sell video to clients, which I've put a very big emphasis over the last 3 or 4 weeks on that to really start going in that direction with getting a lot more smaller video clients locally. And we've actually picked up quite a few. And one of the reasons I think is because I can explain to them, hey, these are the reasons why video is important. Not only do you get a video that people can watch, not only are you showcasing your product or your 5-star review or your testimonial or whatever, but you're getting all of these links in the background that can help with your SEO. On top of that, you're embedding the video into your website. And this is something that needs to be understood is when you take a video, you optimize it really well, you get it onto YouTube, you point that video to that internal page. So again, if it's a dentist and the video is about tooth whitening, you get that tooth whitening video on there, you point to the tooth whitening page. Well, on that tooth whitening page, you need to embed that video as well. But don't embed it unless it's optimized. Yeah, if it's not optimized, it's going to have some benefit just by having a video there. But if you've got a nice optimized video, you put it there, we've seen where that can really help to rank a page better because all of that data goes along with that embedded video and they know what it is. It matches the page, it matches the search query, and it can just make a big difference. But embedding videos in general into a website can improve your bounce rates. The time on site will just skyrocket because people will start watching the videos, and it just gives you some SEO benefits by having that in the page, regardless of whether people watch it or not. If it's in there, it's going to benefit you. When people go there and they watch it, it's going to improve your time on site, reduce those bounce rates, and hopefully make sales for you. If the video is good and can convert people, then you're going to make sales. So that's another one of the powerful underpinnings that video has that can really make a difference. So there you go.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Good
It's
stuff.
a lot of data. Hope you guys wrote that stuff down. But the big thing is you just want to make sure that every video that you use, if it's local, you got to put that Google My Business info in there, the name, the address, the phone number, link back to the GMB page, link back to some 5-star reviews, put the driving directions that Google gives you into there, and that's really going to make a difference. Of course, make sure you've got a link back to your site. If you're not a local business and you're just selling product, maybe you don't care about Google My Business, it's not going to affect you, then just make sure that you get those links in there that link back to the deep pages in your site that help to build those nice backlink profiles, and it's going to help you there as well. Indeed.
Cool stuff there, Ray. Yeah, this is all good, and
Yes.
I'm here to tell you it works. I do everything Ray tells me to do.
He does. I've had him do many crazy things.
Yeah. But no, it's a great way for building authority and citations and backlinks, and Google looks very much at it as quality, everything you're doing, so.
Yep.
And
we've done a
course, they
lot
own
of
YouTube.
testing. We've done a lot of testing on this to see the kinds of effects that it can have. We've talked with other experts, because a lot of times when I come up with these cockamamie ideas, I have no idea. I see things and I say, oh, it seems like when we, do this, it helps with their Google My Business. Well, I go out and I talk to experts and say, hey, we're doing this. What do you think of that? Oh, yeah, that's going to make a difference. Of course it is, So it can be very, very powerful. And a lot of people that are smarter than me when it comes to all this SEO and whatnot. I'm just an old guy who makes videos, For me, all of this other stuff, my areas of expertise has never been SEO and all that kind of stuff. Certainly with videos, I've learned a lot about it. I've done a lot of testing. I've gotten good at it. But, I still don't consider that to be, SEO being my area of expertise. So asking others is always a big help for that.
Here's something, I made myself a note to point this out. I saw an article in one of the SEO magazines like Search Engine Land or something like that. And the topic of the article was, it's not so much SEO. Don't be so much concerned about that as topics. And putting out a lot of information about topics. Now, you want keywords in there, don't get me wrong. But if your page is about teeth whitening, then just having a video about teeth whitening that points back to that page is embedded on that page is really playing the game of what Google wants, and that is websites that are focused on different topics. And I guess that's a big deal right now. Makes sense, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Very, very important stuff. And I've seen a lot of, difference because of that. And locally, local topics are a big help too. So, talking about your local area versus just, talking about teeth whitening, maybe you're talking about, your involvement in this neighborhood and that can really be a big help for local search as well.
Ah, yes. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Good stuff there, Ray.
Yes, hopefully. So we hope that you take this information and you put it to use because we know that it can make a big difference when it comes to all of this stuff. But of course, we want to know what you think of all this. Do you think we're full of baloney on this Christmas near Christmas time, or do you think that what we're talking about makes a lot of sense and is a nice little gift to put under the tree for everybody? Let us know. Be sure to comment on all of this. Let us know what you think. If you're an SEO person, tell us that we're full of baloney if you think we are, and we'll be glad to listen to that. And if you think we're saying the right things, then let us know that too. We'll be glad to take the praise for our knowledge and our supposed expertise.
And if you're Greta Thunberg, say, "How dare you?"
That's right. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
You know what's big news now, changing the subject here, her and Trump sparring on Twitter.
Oh, boy.
Who cares? Who cares?
I'm trying
That
not
was
to care about
random.
any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Don't
that
care.
Was random on the...
And people listening in
right.
the future are going to be like, who's Greta Thunberg?
Yeah. Is it Thornburg or Thunberg?
Thunberg.
Thunberg.
I always say Thornburg. Thunberg.
I remember the Thornbergs. That was pretty good.
I know. I think that's what I was thinking of too. But
Yeah.
and I was. So now that we're done with our little lesson here, Steve, I was noticing, by the way, if you're watching this live, there's a little stream that goes underneath it, like a ticker that gives us some news. And I saw some news that went by, and it was from, I believe it's from ABC News. It said, "Is YouTube doing enough to stop hate speech and conspiracies?" And that kind of popped into my head. It's like, okay, I can kind of understand, the hate speech thing. But really, is it YouTube's job to stop people from having conspiracy theories?
Well, they may be talking about the Alex Jones Sandy Hook thing, but that was definitely hate speech.
But I mean, if somebody, President Kennedy was actually killed by Grimace from McDonald's, I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
Why do you need to censor these things? And why would you care that somebody has a weird conspiracy? It's like, let them do what they got to do. Leave it open. I mean, yeah, if somebody's, pronouncing complete hate, there's probably a line you need to draw somewhere. But conspiracy theories, come on. That seems like a little bit of an overreach.
Well,
and maybe it's because I'm sensitive to it because I love watching the conspiracy kook videos and talking to the conspiracy people. I'm actually working on an escape room right now that centers around conspiracy theories. So I've been following a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff and watching what they're saying because I want to see, what are the big conspiracies these days. And sadly, it really hasn't changed much at all. It's the same ones that people were talking about 20 years ago. So
I'm kind of fascinated, although I think he's an obnoxious twit. I'm kind of fascinated by Alex Jones and this media empire that he built and then lost like 3/4 of it, although he's still on radio. And
I was going to say, I don't think he's gone anywhere. It's just emboldened his people to find him elsewhere and to do more. So
yeah, well, I can remember years ago. It was Dan Kennedy. I saw him speak. This has got to be 30 years ago, and he said, if you want to find some of the best headlines out there, for your copywriting, pick up the National Enquirer. And I would also say, look at Alex Jones's website if you ever want to get ideas for, headlines that's
really
that are
good.
going to work.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty well put together.
And that goes for YouTube titles, by the way. Same type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so I always remembered that, and I'm starting to look at Alex Jones's website. Because, I don't know, I'm an old radio guy. I'm kind of fascinated by online radio, and so I'm looking at his website and I'm reading the headlines, and I remember Dan Kennedy saying, look at National Enquirer. It's like the National Enquirer online, only a little more.
Any of those advertisements that you see online are really good at that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And again, this relates not just to email type stuff, but if you're going to do a YouTube title, think about these things. You see all the time. It's like 5 celebrities you didn't know were dead. The fourth one is going to shock you. And of course, in reality, they just the fourth
I'm
one's
not
going to shock
kidding.
you is just made up. It's
Yeah.
you know there's nothing special about the fourth one over any of the other ones. It's just they know that that's going to get people's I got to see what the fourth one is, and the fourth one is everybody knows that person's dead. What are they talking about?
Where are the cast members of the Brady Bunch today?
Number 5 will shock you.
Yeah, number
That's what they always
5 will
try to
shock
use
you.
to-
Where are the
But-
cast members of My Three Sons today? Well, most of them are dead. But, yeah, the first 4 will shock you. They're dead.
But no, that's some great stuff, and like it's YouTube said, they look for titles and they look for thumbnails when they want to recommend things. So if you can get a title that really resonates, go for it, and that's one way to do it. Don't lie, don't lie. Never try to fool people into watching your videos, because that just makes people upset. But if you can do things to get their attention, it makes a big difference. And
And if you
that's what I was
lie,
going for.
they're going to report it, and YouTube's going to bring you down anyhow. So don't do that.
It's the in the old days, that's what people did. They would lie a lot to get people's attention. Like in the really old days,
Sex. Now that I have your attention.
right? In the
the
really
oldest
old
one.
days, what they used to do is YouTube used to be very predictable with their thumbnails that they chose. So it would be like the very first frame of your video, the very last frame of the video, or the very middle frame of your video. So what people would do is they would do things like, put a picture of a half-naked woman right in the center of the video for just a frame, and that would be the thumbnail to get people's attention. And then YouTube started to randomize that, where it was like somewhere in the beginning, somewhere in the middle, and somewhere at the end
Yeah.
will be your choices. And so
Yeah.
people played a lot of games with them back in those days. And and then when they allowed custom thumbnails, people would do that kind of stuff, and then they had to pull the custom thumbnails back and not let people choose them, as easily. Now they let them do it. People don't try to pull that kind of stuff as much as they used to in the old days. But
Yeah, it's so easy to get brought down for nothing you did, that if you do something, it's even easier to get brought. How many times have you been suspended for nothing you did? Just somebody decided to report you.
Oh yeah, well, when I was doing a lot of very very active, YouTube trying to win YouTube ranking battles for products and things like that, we'd get that all the time. In fact, myself and a handful of others that I know, all on the same day, all got suspended because we all started getting flagged from people. And like four or five of us got suspended on the same day for nothing. Like one of the flagged videos was an interview I did with somebody. It was just, I don't even know what we were talking about. I think it was Josh Zamora, and we were just talking about videos or something like that in a little interview, and that got flagged as inappropriate and whatnot. And if you get flagged by enough people, they'll just suspend your account immediately and ask questions later. And that's what somebody did, is they went around flagging. And usually you get it back pretty quick. But the one time, it was the same thing. It got flagged. Just a random video was flagged a whole bunch of times on one day. And all of a sudden my account was suspended. And I appealed it and never heard anything back and had to wait like 6 months.
And did it come back after 6 months?
Yeah, it's my main channel.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yep. So,
Jeez.
and when they suspend it, the channel is fine. You just can't put new content on there, and you can't do
I
anything.
see.
So it's still there. And recently, I had an issue where inside of YouTube, you can put a website and associate your website with the YouTube channel. And one of the sites that I have associated with the YouTube channel is a WordPress site. And of course, WordPress, notoriously known for being attacked by things. Well, that website apparently got compromised somehow and had a virus on it or spyware or
raise
something.
bonuses.
And raised bonuses. And so I put it in one of the videos and immediately got a strike. And it was because of that website. And I had to stop using that website.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, it's YouTube's kind of crazy, and it's probably going to get crazier as it comes to censoring content and pulling channels down.
Certainly
they don't
is.
want anything religious out there now, I guess. I had a website for my church. We put all pastor sermons on there. We had hundreds of sermons on there. They brought it down.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And so we started another one, kept them unlisted, You know, we didn't call it the name of the church or anything, just to embed them on the website. They brought it down. So I you know, I don't know if they considered what he said hate speech. I mean, it's a pretty mainstream Christian church, but anyhow, yeah. So,
Yeah, it's funny that, you know, because there's
I
a
always
lot
thought
of,
his sermons were pretty tame, especially
Yeah.
compared to Obama's pastor back in Chicago. You know,
well, and you know, and a lot of big churches have their, you know, and I'm talking, you know, not the church down the street, but you know, like main headquarter, like the actual official churches have YouTube channels, and they don't seem to have any issues.
yeah, I don't know what it is with us. You know, I just gave up. I have a
Sad.
theory. It was a disgruntled ex-member of the congregation.
Probably. That's usually what it comes down to.
Yeah,
It was Satan.
yeah. It was Satan. It was Satan. It was the
Satan.
church lady.
Satan!
Isn't that special?
All right,
Aren't
Steve,
we-
we are
aren't we
rambling on
full of
about all sorts of
ourselves?
things here, and
I
people
know,
are probably
I
going,
know.
what the heck is going on? But, you know, it's all good stuff. We're talking about YouTube here, and we talked about the intrinsic values of videos, the kind of underpinnings of value that videos have that can really help you. And we talked a little bit about YouTube issues and censorship on YouTube and whatnot. So went a little off track, but hey, I bet you people actually liked it. If you
Yeah,
did
that's
like it,
fun.
you got to let us know. Give us that 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or Stitcher or wherever else you get the show from. Be sure to like us.
iHeart.
Like our
iHeartRadio.
iHeart.
We're on
Yep.
iHeartRadio.
Like us on Facebook. All those kinds of fun things.
Twitface.
Twitface. That's what I usually people call me that. So, in any case, all right. I think that brings us to the end. So, hey, Steve, what do you think today's show is made possible by?
Well, I heard Movo's got a lot of good mics, including
That is
one
true.
that is like Yeti, you know, like Yeti.
Yes, indeed. Movo has a lot of great microphones. And, of course, I'm saying this, and I'm not even using a Movo microphone that I'm saying this on. But Movo has a lot of great microphones that I use every day for my video productions. I use the LV1 lapel microphone. I use the UM700 desktop mic. I only got it the other day, but I've been using that the last few days. I've got some wireless microphones sitting over there that I use when I'm in wireless situations. And
You've
I've even
reviewed
got
them all.
What's that?
You've reviewed them all. Just Google
I've reviewed many
Ray
of
the
them.
Video Guy microphones or Movo, and
Yep.
you've got at least 1,000 reviews out there for him. Okay, 5 or 10.
Yeah, maybe closer to 10 than 1,000, but a lot of great ones. In fact, I've got a really cool microphone, and I don't remember the name of this one, and I can't. Let's see. I've got my handy-dandy glasses, but I don't think they will help me see things far away. No, they won't help me at all with that. But I've got a microphone over on the other side of the room. Here, watch. I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to use my phone to magnify to the other side of the room on that box over there and see if I can get the name of this microphone.
No wonder you're the intergalactic Time Lord.
I am the intergalactic Time Lord. Let's see. Can we read what that says? I don't think we can. I think it's still too far away.
But anyhow, you got a lot of great mobile
In any
mics.
case, it's a very cool microphone that actually, it's a lapel microphone that has 2 microphone heads on it.
that thing,
So you can put
yeah.
one on you and one on another person at the same time, plug it into your phone or your camera, and now you can interview somebody. So a lot
That's
of really
awesome.
cool stuff. In fact,
Yeah.
when we get off of here, I've actually got somebody on my screen here asking me how to, what he needs for his setup for a mobile video studio, because he's going to be using his smartphone and wants to know what he needs for a stand and for a tripod and for mics and lights and all that. So I'll be putting them together a nice little package here in just a few minutes, because Movo has it all, baby.
They do.
The camera that we're looking at right now is on a beautiful Movo stand, and that stand, actually, I've got it right here, and it's the MVT1. It's a nice little desktop tripod, and it's
look at
perfect
that.
for me
That's cool.
because
Yeah.
it's nice and low profile. I can
So
put it on my desk.
It's got the camera on it. What else does it have on it? Anything else?
That one's just got the camera on it. That's
Okay.
all. It's just the webcam on that one. So,
Okay.
but a
it's
beautiful
still
thing.
cool.
So they've got everything. They got little tripods. They've got lights, LED lights. They've got the lenses for your bigger cameras. They've got microphones. They got all sorts of fun stuff. And you can check them out by clicking on the link down below here. You can also go to pocketvideopro.com and check out some of the microphones there as well. And I think you'll like it. Like it. That's the longest promo
stuff.
we've ever done.
Yeah,
for
but it's fun.
The end of a show. It is fun, and they've been getting a lot of great equipment.
I love microphones.
Me too. And this one here, by the way, is an Electro Voice RE20. Ooh. So,
fancy.
And by the way, Movo has mixers in there too. I don't know if you know that, Steve.
Oh, they do?
They've got full-size mixers for, they got giant mixers too. They got a lot of really cool stuff in there. So
Wow, I didn't know that.
Indeed they do. So, all right. Well, with that, another episode brought to a close. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you check out Movo. We hope that you have a great week. We hope that you have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah,
We should do a show next week, and then that's it for the year.
I think next week we should be able to have a show.
Yeah, that's a full week, and then the week after is Christmas, and the week after is New Year's.
Is it literally New Year's, or what date is that?
It'll be the 3rd. New Year's is on a Wednesday. Christmas and New Year's are on a Wednesday.
They are. That's what I thought. Okay. So, we'll probably we'll probably have one the New Year's week, I would think.
Oh, yeah, why not? I'm not doing
Might as well,
anything.
right?
I have no life.
The people need
I'm
us,
serious.
Steve.
I have no life.
The people need us.
And we're going to be around. I mean, that's a work week. Christmas, I might
They need us.
not work so much.
Yeah. All right, with that, let's hit the music before we go absolutely insane here. We'll see you next week, guys. Here we go.
Bye.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.